We learned something here, didn't we?
We have. We learned a lot. So.
When you first found it on the map, what did you find?
It was an old home site on the historic aerials, and it was probably 1950.
And then we got here, and of course you can see this rock wall and everything.
Yeah, I know it. Had no clue this was here.
Jeff has got something in the hole right there. Jeff has got one right here in the clod. Well, I finally got on the board with a tom back here. It's a flat button. Well, we're finding some buttons right in here.
We are.
Well, I tell you, you're digging with 7. We're finding buttons.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know that you can see it snowing, but it is snowing. And me and Jeff are
scouting this Confederate house.
Yeah, we just we found this on the map and came up. Jeff's got, well, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Jeff's got an old spoon. It's an old one, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. What we're looking for.
I don't think it's going to have any kind of back mark on it. I think it's too early for that, but it could. Out of this hole right here that I just dug, I think it's part of a pewter spoon bowl. Look at that shell pattern on the back of it right there. We're up here at an old spot. There's a rock wall right down that way, and we don't find many of those in our part of the country like they do in New England. Looks like a promising spot. Well, we're just about to leave this old spot right here. We haven't found anything. There's all kind of metal roofing and everything. We got close together here and was digging and found a few things. And Jeff has got one right here in the clod. That looks like a tomback. That's what it is. It's a tomback with a great shank on it. Check it out right there. That's a nice button there. That's 1700s. You dirty dog. There's a rock wall that runs right along this edge right here. We're up above a pond, and Jeff found that he found that tomback a while ago, just right in behind, well, actually to the left of where I'm at. I may get down there and shoot that, but he found another tomback, but it's been laying out on top of the ground right here. Flip it over there. Good find. We're going to hunt right here a little bit. Jeff is right there. He found that other tomback, and then to his right up that way a little bit, he found the other one. Check this rock wall out. We don't have a lot of these. We don't have hardly any of these in Kentucky. Now, they've got a few more down here in Tennessee where we're at. But 2 tombacks right up above this wall. We're sure going to hunt here for a little bit more and see what we can find. There is an old house up on top, but it's like in the early 1900s, and there's all kind of sheet metal up there. But we'll hit this here for a little bit. Well, I finally got on the board with a tomback here. Mine is a little cuff. It's still going to have a shank on it. Jeff found one right here close by. We may have a whole garment right in here. That's a good find. Still in this little spot right here where we found 2 or 3 tombacks. And Jeff has got something in the hole right there.
Oh my goodness.
What is it?
It's a script eye. I think it's, oh my goodness.
A script eye button?
Yeah. War of 1812. My first script eye.
My goodness. Let me see.
It's got the star under it. That's my first one.
That is a great find.
That is awesome find.
Those are out of pewter, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
Well,
That one is.
I'm glad we stayed.
Oh my goodness.
Ain't you?
Oh, I'm glad we stayed. Yes, sir, I am. Man, that's a great find.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Well, Jeff found a great button, and it gives me an opportunity to do a history clip on the War of 1812. This military conflict actually lasted from June of 1812 to February 1815. The United States declared war for the very first time against another nation, and we declared it against the United Kingdom and their northern American colonies. We know it today as Canada, and the Native American allies that they had in the Northwest Territory that we know today as Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Like I said, it was the first time that our nation had ever declared war on another nation, and we did it for several reasons. One was trade restrictions by the British. The other was the fact that they impressed as many as 10,000 of our American merchant sailors into their Royal Navy. And the British were also supporting the Native American tribes that were fighting settlers on the U.S. frontier. And some people say that another reason, and maybe the prime reason, was that the United States wanted to expand its borders west, maybe even take over Canada. The War of 1812 had 3 major victories for the U.S.: New York, Baltimore, and New Orleans. And many in the United States celebrated the War of 1812 as the Second War of Independence. What you may not know is that the Battle of Baltimore was the battle that gave birth to our Star-Spangled Banner, the national anthem of the United States. The lyrics come from a poem called The Defense of Fort McHenry. It was written on September the 14th, 1814 by Francis Scott Key as he witnessed the bombardment of Fort McHenry by British ships of the Royal Navy in Baltimore Harbor. Key was inspired by the large American flag, the Star-Spangled Banner, flying triumphantly above the fort during the American victory. The British fired about 1,500 bombs and rockets at Fort McHenry from ships in Baltimore Harbor, and yet only succeeded in killing 4 of the fort's defenders. So, what a button, and what a piece of history to find. What have you got?
It's some kind of little button. You can see the shank. It's got the older shank on it.
Oh yeah, it's got the square that comes up.
And then look at the front of it.
Pearl inlaid. May not be pearl, but simulation in it may be pearl. Well, we're finding some buttons right in here.
We are. I think you just passed one up over there.
Did I?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'll go back. Still on this little rock wall up above this pond. And Jeff is kicking my butt today. He's got his small coil on. Where you at?
Can you see it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Right there. Toe tap. That baby's gonna be complete.
Yep.
Rub the front of that off right there and see if there's a date. I've only found one that's got a date.
I seen one the other day on the internet that had a date.
I think mine's like 1809.
I don't see anything, but that's not saying much.
Yeah. That's a good find.
Thank you very much.
I want to do a shout out today to my buddy Mac with the Coil Boys. You see his channel there on your screen. I will leave a link in the description below, but check him out. He makes some good finds and he makes some good videos, finds a lot of flat buttons and other Colonial relics. Like, subscribe, and share. Be sure that you tell him that Seven sent you. I've got one here. It sounded like crap, to tell you the truth. But then it just kept popping in there, and I dug a square nail out of the hole. But I didn't think that that was what it was. And I've got what I believe is a button right here. It's a flat button. And it's going to have a shank on it. It's got the back mark on it. Got that flat shank on it. But that's a good button. I put my little 5x8 coil on and it's really made a difference. That was pretty choppy in that hole right there. But as you can see, I've got a button right here. It's going to be a brass cuff button. And I believe it's going to have a shank. Oh yeah, got a shank on it. Well, I'll tell you, you're digging with Seven. We're finding buttons. Just found half of a thimble. The top is gone, and well, not even half, I don't guess. But that's a good sign. We're moving on down this rock wall here. I think I've got a button here. I just don't know if it's a flat button or if it is it's a flat button. But the shank is broke off, but that's okay. Still working along this old rock wall. Early 1800s. Good find. Jeff's up around this tree right here, next to the roots. Flat button.
Yeah, that's the first oval one I've ever found.
I found a few like that. Generally they're a little bit smaller than that though. That may have something on the front of it. That may just be corrosion, I don't know. That's a good find though. This all came out relatively close together here. I think the plows got to them. Look at that piece of pottery right there. I love that. And then there's 3 pieces of harmonica reed. I would say that a plow has hit all that. Wish I could find some more of that pottery though. That's sweet right there. And the harmonica reeds too. I'll take them. If anybody wants to learn anything from this, we were chasing a 1950s house and got to a late 1700s place, you know.
That's it.
And so you never know. Just get out there and get up in the woods and just hunt. I mean, we just walked up on this right here and just found it.
And it does take a lot of footwork.